Alright everyone, Phil again. Here's the next video in this little set of guitar mod videos. Again, got my little Sigma Strat here. Strings are off, knobs are off. Gonna start templating my new pickguard. Again, as I said in the last video, the reason for making a new pickguard is that I'm gonna actually route out this lower section of the guitar. Obviously this jack is going to be already routed out, and make a new pickguard that will look something like this one. Let me just put it. By the way, I cut all of this out with scissors, except for this. I used a knife for that. Didn't have the knife when I first started cutting it out. Also, I don't like how where it's taped here, it's kind of bubbling up. I think for future templates, I'm going to not tape it together and just let the pickups that are in here line it up. So, first of all, you're probably wondering, why am I making a template with an SSS configuration when I'm putting two humbuckers into this guitar? And the reason is because I know that these pickups are lined up perfectly, and so if I can get the rest of the pickguard to fit the way I want it, mainly this big expanded region down here, which I think is going to have to actually go a little bit bigger to accommodate what I want, then I can change these two in SketchUp over to humbuckers instead of single coils for the final actual print job. So as you can see here, there's a few things. If we look at the neck, it's a little tight. If I remember correctly, when I got this loaded pickguard, which came from EMG with the pickups in it, that I had to file this section down on mine for it to fit on this neck. And then if we look down here, if I pull this up, you'll see where the white stops, and that was filed back to fit with this bridge. It was white all the way across. And so you can see that this template that I'm basing off of a standard Stratocaster pickguard obviously doesn't fit either. So I'm going to take my caliper, and I'm not going to try to do that while holding the camera, but just so you can kind of see what the process is going to be. And I'm just going to measure, how much I need to take off and how much I need to add, and so on. And then I'll print another template, stick it on there, and see how it all works. Okay, so here is the second template. I need to write some 2s on here somewhere. As this one you can see is taped down to my guitar, because this one I did all on a cutting mat, one of these green things over here. It sticks to it, kind of like it's covered in Scotch tape, and when you pull it off, it rolls up, and makes it very challenging to put it over the guitar. But with that said, if we take a look here, you can see where I modified the neck and went a little too far there. So I'm going to measure that with my caliper and decide how far to come back with it, rather than go back to the original and cut it again. Down here at the bridge, though, you can see I actually got that quite nice. The only thing is that I don't like the shape this came out. I need to kind of make that corner a little nicer. And I'm still thinking I'm not going to get all of my controls into this space. So I'm thinking maybe a swoop down here, or, maybe just go with a side jack. I don't like side jacks, but in this case, I think it would work. So anyway, more to come in just a bit. All right, here is template number 3. I went ahead and cut this one out with scissors again, and just used the knife for the knob cutouts and the pickups, and it did not curl up like like that sad template over there that I did completely with the knife. Here is a mock layout of where the controls could potentially go, and as you can see, I enlarged the bottom quite a bit. I'm coming all the way down to the bottom, and I think that's necessary for a few reasons. One, with the cable coming out right here, I wanted to keep it to where when it's draping down, it's not likely to interfere with anything. I'm going to have 2 mini toggles right here, and I figure it's the least likely to interfere with them. So as you can see, I put a couple of these other knobs on there. I was going to use those, and I'm still probably going to use a non Stratocaster standard knob for the sole purpose that these guys, as you can see, the grip is straight up and down. And when you're using it as a push-pull, you just can't get a lot of grip on these knobs. So I'd like to find something closer to these knobs that has a little bit of grip on it. The other thing I drew in, and I'm not 100% certain this is where I want to keep it, is a couple of additional switches that I intend on putting in, and these would just be regular slide switches, preferably something that's a little tough to click back and forth, just so it doesn't accidentally get bumped one way or the other. But my intention is to wire those switches to a cable. Let's just see, just for the sake of example here. If it was to take, well, here we go. This is one intended to go to an output jack. But let's just say, for the sake of argument, that these two terminals were, come on, let's focus. There we go. That these two terminals were going to a switch. Then this guy, woo, sorry, I'm still getting used to taking a lot of videos, that this guy could plug into our push-pull on one of these terminals over here. The way that these EMG push-pulls work is, I want to say the bottom jumper there, if it's on, this is a tone knob. If it's off, this is a volume knob. Could have that backwards, maybe maybe the other way around, but similar to an actual soldered tone and volume pot, they're the same thing, only you solder a capacitor on if you want it to be tone, and you don't if you want it to be volume. So my intention is to put a switch onto those terminals and basically give me the option to alternate between whether this is a volume pot or a tone pot. And then those are the collars off of the toggle switches. I'd probably have the top one be the switch that would combine bridge and neck, and then the second one down be the phase inverter that I would pair to the middle pickup, just for other sound options. So anyhow, I'm going to play around with this a little bit more, but this might just be the winning combination here. And if it is, when my Pickguard material comes in, I will have a test piece cut and see if it all fits on here. So that's where we're at. All right, so hey, we're looking at SketchUp here on my computer. I was hoping to get one more template made, cut out, laid over the guitar, kind of show you what the final result was before I got it cut. But I had an opportunity today to actually get the Pickguard cut. So I wanted to kind of show you what I landed on here and kind of what everything is to wrap up this templating video. And then you can go ahead and watch the next one, which will show the cutting process and get a live look at what it actually looked like. And we'll kind of go over what the steps are going to be for actually finishing it. So here's what we've got. As you can see, I've gone ahead and changed the single coil pickups over to humbuckers. Down at the bottom here, if I zoom in, let's take a look here. You can see kind of the final layout that I went with. So the two push-pull pots are going to be in these two slots here, because remember, these three will be occupied by the DG20 board that has volume, EXG, and SPC. That'll be these three knobs. These two I'm going to use as dual mode tone or volume pots, and that's what this little space is down here. It is set up for a slide switch, a little tiny slide switch that will be connected to the pot, which will allow it to be either a volume or a tone, depending on what I decide to do with it. And there'll be this one as well as this one. These two will be the two mini toggles I talked about earlier. The kill switch, which will in essence allow me to pair the bridge and neck pickups together, and then this will be the phase inverter that will pair with the middle pickup to give me an out of phase sound whenever the middle pickup is in use. And then, of course, down here at the bottom, this will be the new output jack that will replace the standard Stratocaster jack that used to be in this region somewhere on the actual guitar. So anyhow, there you have it. Go ahead and watch the next video to see the actual cutting process and how that all turned out. And we'll keep putting this together. So thanks for watching.